This one is called The Bride. The church had been prepared like a promise. White roses along the aisle, candlelight trembling in brass holders, stained glass overhead bleeding soft colors onto the stone floor like a spilled memory. You stood at the altar thinking, this is it. This is the moment. Life finally stops feeling like you're waiting for something. The organ started to swell. Doors open, and she began to walk, your bride. Veil down, slow steps, perfect posture, the kind of entrance you rehearsed in your head 1,000 times without ever believing it would actually happen. People stood, their heads turned. A few people were sniffling. Even the priest looked relieved, like the world had finally agreed to behave itself for once. But something in the air didn't match the beauty. It was too quiet between heartbeats, like the room itself was holding its breath. Then she reached you, stopped. You lift the veil. Her face was exactly as you remembered it, every detail correct. The curve of her lips, the softness of her eyes, and yet she smiled. Too wide. Not wrong necessarily in shape, but wrong in effort. Like someone had been told what happiness looks like, but had never actually felt it before. Her cheeks pulled just a fraction bit too far, and the skin stretched with a patience that didn't belong to muscle. Hey, she said, one word. Flat, practice, warm, like reheated soup. The priest cleared his throat behind you. You noticed his hands were shaking. You leaned in closer to her. Are you okay? Her head tilted, not curious, measuring. I'm okay, she replied, but she didn't blink. That's when you noticed the eyes. They were looking at you, but not landing on you, like a reflection missing depth, like someone wearing the idea of sight. A chill slid up your spine. Behind her, the priest stepped back about a foot. The candles flickered harder, as if it was reacting to something unseen in the air. A whisper ran through the pews. People started shifting. There's this uneasiness, but it was like nobody understood quite why. You tried to laugh it off. Nervous? You asked softly. It's a big moment. Her smile twitched. Not softer, not warmer, but wider. I learned it for you, she said. Something in your stomach dropped. For me? You asked. And she blinked. Once and slow. Too slow. Like a shutter closing. The priest took another step back.
Ye are the blood of my body.
No, he whispered. Not to you, not to her. To God? Or maybe to himself? You turned slightly. What's wrong? The priest's face had gone pale in a way that looked almost like gray underneath the candlelight. That's not... He started, then stopped, swallowing hard. That is not... The bride's head snapped towards him. Not turned, snapped. Like bone remembering it was never meant to move that way. Silence crushed the room. Then she smiled again. And this time, it wasn't practice. It was pleased. You noticed, she said. Her voice wasn't hers anymore. It was layered, like too many people were speaking through one mouth and failing to agree on how human sounds work. You stepped back. What are you talking about? Her veil shifted without wind, and just for a second you saw it. Not her face. Something underneath, borrowing the shape of it. Your bride's features like clay pressed into the wrong mold. Eyes too deep, teeth too perfect, smile still stretching, still trying, still learning how to be wrong in the right way. The priest shouted something behind you, words breaking, prayers collapsing into panic, but she didn't look at him. I watched her, she said softly. I listened. I copied. I practiced. Her fingers twitching, like in a wrong rhythm. Too many joints remembering too many hands. I can do her voice now, she added. I can do her laugh. I can do her love. Your throat tightened. Where is she? The smile paused just for a moment, like a system searching for a file that no longer had it. And then, she left, the bride said. Not as an answer, as a correction. The candles all went out at once. Darkness swallowed the church. And in that darkness, something moved fast, too fast. Wood cracked above you. A scream tore through the pews. The priest shouted again, but it cut off halfway like a cord snapped mid-sound. You stumbled forward. No! Hey! Stop! A hand grabbed your wrist. Warm, familiar, but like wrongly familiar. Her voice whispered directly beside you in your ear. I did it right, didn't I? Something massive shifted overhead. You looked up, just in time to see her silhouette climbing the banister above the choir loft. Too fluid, too light, like gravity had stopped insisting and there were no rules. People were starting to run now. Chairs were crashing, prayer turning into panic. And she was laughing, not loudly, like she was still learning how. You wanted forever, she called down, voice echoing from too many places at once. So I stayed. Then she jumped, not down the aisle, not towards you, towards the stained glass of Mother Mary above the altar. The impact didn't feel real. It felt like reality gave up for a second. Color exploded outward, blue, gold, crimson, shattering across the church like broken holiness. Glass rained down in slow, glittering violence. And in the center of it all, she landed without breaking, turned her head, looked at you, still smiling, still practicing. Still not quite done becoming her. And then she said, almost gently, next time I'll do the vows better. And then she was gone.
You cannot hide from what you crave.